Life goes up and it goes down. I know my mom taught me that. I figured why we fool around so little, and we keep track of time, being so serious. Idiots thinking it will matter, keep me company downtown before the clock runs out. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. I'm afraid I'll end up nowhere. They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the details that actually mean something. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, not.
Hey you guys, thank you for watching as we do another nail tutorial. But while we're painting nails, let's do a quick story time of how I almost died at Amazon. So I was working for Amazon. I was working, if anybody ever worked for Amazon, you know they have all these different departments. Far as one is called pickers, one is called packers, one is called stores or whatever. So it's like the pickers are the one, the stores are the one who sort through the stuff and put it in the correct containers so that the pickers can pick it from. It's like they have these robots called Kiva robots, and so they put this stuff on these little carts, and the stores put it all the way into the containers. If you work in pick, you stand at the station and those little containers come to you by means of the Kiva robot. I won't say it's called Kiva, but yeah, the Kiva robot, which brings everything to you and you pick it off of, and then you put it in a tote and put it on a belt. At that point, those totes are sent over to the pack side so packers can pick out, so can take that whichever item is needed for that particular shipment and pack it and send it off to a customer, of course. So at this point, when I almost out at Amazon, I worked in pack, and at this point in my life, I was going back and forth to the doctors because I kept having headaches, like really bad headaches, like blackout, pass out the street, bad headaches. So of course I'm panicking, thinking that maybe I have a tumor or something wrong in my head because the headaches was that bad. So while I'm panicking, going back and forth to the doctors, my doctor gave me a couple of different medications to try to figure out, maybe she said because of your age, it's probably just migraines, probably nothing to worry about, you're probably just having migraines. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, but the problem is I'm taking everything over the counter. I'm taking Excedrin, I'm taking Tylenol, extra strength, I'm taking nighttime medication, I'm taking daytime medication. Like, I'm literally taking everything, and nothing is curing these headaches. So I'm still in full panic mode. Like, what is wrong? Like, the pain should not be this bad for a headache. Like, I've had headaches, but it's like, what in the world is wrong? Okay, so I went back to the doctor's, like, nothing. I know you're saying it's migraines, but like, nothing over the counter is working. Like, I'm still getting sick to the point where at this point I'm nauseous, like wanting to vomit. Like, my head hurts so bad I want to like vomit. Like, it's like affecting my everyday living, and I have kids, so it's like I can't even get up and do what I need to do because I'm afraid of passing out in public because I kept like blacking out, like sick, like what the world. So she like, okay, so let's just try some different medication. She gave me one pill, and it was like, you take it for 4 hours. So it's like you take 4 pills for 4 hours. So every hour you take one pill. Let an hour go past, take one pill. Let an hour go past, take one pill. And you do that for 4 consecutive hours. And once that 4 hours is up, you wait 4 hours and then start the process again. So it's like, okay, that seemed like a little bit excessive, but okay, the pain is strong, so let's try this. I forgot the name of the medication, but I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's try. So I did that, and I'm at work, and I'm taking the pills, the 4 pills. They was like not really working. It felt like I was just popping Tylenols every hour. Like, they really wasn't doing much at all. So I'm like, okay. So went back to the doctor, like, that's not working. So she like, you know what? Let's try this. Let's give you a different pill. This pill you should take 1 a day, and that should cure some of the relieve some of the pain. Cool. So I'm taking that pill in the morning, like she said, and I'm like, okay, this is doing nothing. It might work like when I first take it, when I'm first getting up, but it's doing nothing throughout the day. Like, that's still not working. So she like, okay, well, let's try this. We tried a number of different medications. She like, okay, let's try this. I said, okay. So she like, let's try a combination of 2 different medications. And one of the medicines was like caused nausea, and I'm looking it up, and one of the medicines causes headaches. I said, okay, I'm here for headaches. Why are you giving me headaches? She said, oh no, that's a side effect, and it's a rare side effect. You really shouldn't have that. In your case, from the symptoms that you described and what you're going through, this should be a perfect pill for you. Cool. I tried it anyway, and I was nervous because it was 2 different pills. Okay. She like, oh, okay, yeah, you should be fine. Just take these pills. At this point, I'm working at Amazon, and I'm working night shift. I'm working a 6:30 to 5 a.m. shift, so that's a 10-hour shift. So I'm like, okay, so I'm taking his medicine, but I said, I gotta work, and I work around machinery. I work for Amazon. Should this make me sleepy? Any of that? Like, should I take off of work? Starting this new medication, should I take off work? She said, oh no, you should be fine. You shouldn't have any really major side effects. You should be good. You should be fine to work. You should be fine to resume your daily activities. Everything should be fine. So I took that medicine. So first, I'm gonna say I didn't even take it right away, because at the same time she gave me the medicine, she also scheduled the MRI just to make sure I didn't have a tumor, because at this point I'm nervous, and I know people who died from having tumors and not even knowing it, and having I forgot what you call it, but the thing in your brain that bursts, I forgot what you call it. But yeah, I'm nervous, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to die or whatever in a house with just my young kids or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, are you sure this makes sense to take? Oh, I hit this one. Are you sure this one is going to make sense to take? She said, you should be fine, but we're going to schedule an MRI anyway. So in the meantime, since I knew she scheduled my MRI, and that's what I was most scared of or whatever, I said, okay, I'm not going to take this medication until I go get the MRI and make sure that it's nothing else going on. Because like I said, the medicine said it causes headaches, so I was a little bit nervous about it. So when I got the MRI, she said, okay, so I don't see anything on the MRI. How's the medicine doing? At this point, we had a follow-up visit. So I told her I didn't actually start taking the medicine. I wanted to get the results from the MRI just to make sure it wasn't nothing else going on. So she like, okay, well, we know it ain't nothing going on. It's nothing on your MRI. Go ahead and start taking the medicine. Cool. And I asked again, like, so you sure, like, this, you at this point, it's 2 different pills that I'm taking. I'm taking them together. but I'm taking them like every couple of hours. I'm like, you sure this is like, because it say, I'm reading, like it say dizziness, it might make you nauseous, it could cause headaches. She like, no, there are rare side effects and you shouldn't have any of them. You should be good. Go ahead and take it. So, you know, me being gullible, still kind of in pain or whatever, I want the pain to stop. I want to get back to my normal living and not, you know, pass out in the street with my children. I said, okay, so you know what? I am going to go ahead and take the medicine. And in the midst of all this, I was back and forth in the emergency room because I had moments where I'm in the street with my kids and I'm literally blacking out, feel like I can't catch my breath, can't get a thought, like I'm literally like sick, and I'm just like, okay, what in the world's wrong? So I am on my way to work. Before I go to work, I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and take this medicine because I said I'm getting sick and I need to get through my shift tonight without being sick or feeling like trash, complete trash. So I took the medicine and I live probably about, I want to say maybe 30 minutes from my job. So I took it and I'm driving to work. Everything seems fine. Nothing out of the ordinary. Everything seems fine. Okay, cool. So I'm going into work. Everything seems fine. I want to say like an hour into my shift, I literally got dizzy as crap. And I'm trying to like hold it together. Like, what in the world's wrong? Because at this point, I'm just like, okay, this feels weird. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go get some water. Maybe I'm dehydrated. Because, you know, if anybody ever worked at Amazon, you know Amazon builders can get hot. People basically race to work early to try to get a fan. Because if you don't, it's never enough fans for everyone. And, yeah, you will basically stand there hot all night. And they want you to keep it with a rate. So I'm trying to hurry up and, like, you know, maybe I'm too hot. Maybe I need some water. Maybe, you know, I'm remembering I took the medicine, but I'm still feeling weird. So at this point, I'm like, okay, let me just, you know, go get some water. So anybody working at Amazon, you know the break rooms are never near you. Like the break rooms is some distance away. So I'm walking on my way to the break room. And as I'm on my way to the break room or whatever, I literally feel like I'm walking on clouds. Like I feel like I don't drink. I don't get high. I don't do any type of drugs. I never have. You know, that's just never been my lifestyle. But I'm like, when I say I felt like I probably was on some sort of like illegal substance, like my body literally felt like I couldn't catch my breath. I felt like I was like walking on clouds. Like I literally felt like weird, like something like is wrong. So I'm really at Amazon and in the heat trying to pack and do my job and literally like start blacking out. So I made it to the break room. I drank some water. I sat down for a second or whatever. I'm just like, okay, something is wrong. Like something's seriously wrong. And yeah, just like that, I like blacked out. And I'm just like, what in the world? I end up going to the hospital. I blacked out. I ended up getting myself together a little bit. When I went to go get the water, when I went to go get the water, I blacked out in the break room. So anybody work at Amazon, y'all know they have this time off task policy. Like you have to be doing something or you're considered to be having time off task. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like and I'm worried a little bit because I'm a single mother. I have kids. It's like I can't get written up and I don't want to get fired, but at the same time, like, no, this is emergency, like something wrong or whatever. So I blacked out in the break room. I'm sitting there, I don't know how long. I know by the time I woke up, it was nobody in there. When I first went in there, I drank some water, I sat down. It was people sitting there because sometimes people do have like different times of break. I went in, I don't know what time, but when I woke up, I know everybody was gone. Everybody break was over. And I'm in there by myself. No one really paying no attention because I'm laying my head on. I laid my head down on the desk a little bit. And then like on the table, I'm sorry. Because we don't have any dust. And nobody really paying no attention. Or whatever. I get myself together. And I just went and hurry up, got up. And clocked out so that I'm not even on the clock. So they won't even see that, oh, okay, you're, I'm sorry. That you're that I'm supposed to be doing something or whatever. So I just got myself together. Once I did come back to, and I end up going straight to the hospital. Went to the hospital. The emergency room doctor like stop taking the medicine basically, and contact your doctor. So I'm like, my doctor the one that gave me the medicine. That's what I'm thinking. Like she the one that told me to take it. She said, stop taking it. You having a most negative effect. Ooch. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get some stuff. You having a very negative reaction. Like don't take it no more. Like you shouldn't be blacking out and passing out in the street. Like not with the headache, and the medicine shouldn't have made it worse. The medicine made everything worse. It's like all the symptoms that I told her I had, the medicine pretty much made everything just worse than what it was. Like worse. Like I felt it even more. So I'm like, okay, this is like something's gotta give. Like something's not right. So at this point, my doctor's still like, oh, well, come again. I'm gonna give you a different medicine. No, you're not giving me anything else because I came here for headaches. I'm gonna carry this. I came here for headaches, and you definitely gave me something that causes headaches. And I already, that's why I kept asking, like, you sure? You sure? And she's like, oh no, it's fine. So I clearly then never went back to that doctor. Because I was mad because you gave me something, and I actually should I even go to work, and I go to work and black straight up. Okay, that could have been much worse because if anybody know Amazon, they have so much machinery, so many like conveyor belts running a different way. And I said if I didn't walk to where I was packing at, I was packing like in the middle or whatever where the conveyor belt is, right next to the conveyor belt. Well, I was stationed next to the conveyor belt, but I was packing like in the middle of right closest to the slam line of where the conveyor is. So I'm like, if I didn't walk off, I would have basically just stood there and passed out probably on the conveyor belt. I don't know, got shipped to China. I don't freaking know. But I'm just like, I asked you, is this okay to take? You're guaranteeing me, oh yeah, it's fine, you should be good, no big deal, all this or whatever, basically because you're trying to push medication on me and you're not actually listening to what I feel like she wasn't listening to what I was actually saying. Because I'm telling you, like, no, I'm not comfortable with this. Which I should have just went with my first gut reaction anyway. Like, I'm not comfortable, don't take it. I'm just irritated by the headaches. So I'm just like, all right, you know what, let me try something. Because right at this point, these headaches is driving me crazy. And she's like, no, you're going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. Yeah, everything was not good. Not good at all. So and she ended up doing blood work on me, but it's like during the midst of this, she hadn't got the blood work or whatever during the midst of me trying this new medication. So I went, she did the blood work, and she's like, well, can you come in for a follow-up appointment? And I'm just thinking about it, like, I'm not going in for anything. Like, lady, you legit almost killed me. No, not going in for anything, because I'm frustrated and irritated at this point. Like, what I'm going in for what? So she's like, no, just come in, I need to go over your blood work. Some things came up on your test results. And I'm thinking in my head, like, oh, okay, so now what medicine are you trying to give me now? At this point, she's giving me no medicine. I go in, mad at all. I go in or whatever to talk to her. She's like, Ms. Lewis, I think we figure out why you're having these bad headaches. What are you eating? I believe it's an allergic reaction. And I'm like, I'm eating everything that I've been eating. Like, nothing's really changed in my diet. Like, I haven't eaten nothing new. Anybody know me know that I kind of stick to basically my same food groups: turkey, pork, chicken. Not much pork. My pork intake is very limited because I don't feed my kids a lot of pork. We'll do beef randomly, but we do more chicken, turkey, and fish. It's pretty much my three main food groups or whatever. And we do takeout, but if we do takeout, it's something like a McDonald's. I mean, it's not nothing like, we're not eating any type of exotic foods. So I'm like, I haven't eaten anything new. She's like, oh, okay. Well, the thing with, she said, it seems like you're allergic to gluten. That's what's coming up on your test results. I said, gluten? I said, I've been eating bread and gluten my whole life. What you mean I'm allergic to gluten? Like, how in the world all of a sudden now am I allergic to gluten? Like, I've always eaten gluten or whatever. And she's like, yeah, you're probably having reactions, but you're having mild reactions, so you're not really paying, it's not really affecting you, or you're not paying it much attention, but you are having reactions to the gluten, but you're not paying no attention because they're mild reactions, and you probably had it all your life and didn't really feed much into it. And I'm like, really? That's what you're blaming it on? Gluten? Gluten? Because it's like in my head, like, lady, I've been eating gluten my whole life. How in the world today am I allergic to gluten? Long story short, yes, I'm definitely allergic to gluten. And I remember as a child, like, getting sick or whatever. Like, I remember getting sick. I remember feeling times where, like, I would go to the bathroom and it would feel like I'm in there. Like it was literally coming out of both ends. Now, back then, I don't think celiac disease or gluten sensitivity was a very popular phrase. So I was never diagnosed as a child. But I remember being sick, and it's just like, oh, you know, she probably just have a stomach virus. That's what it was. Oh, she just probably have a stomach virus or whatever. But I remember often getting sick, feeling dizzy as a child. But I never really put too much thought into it or whatever. Because I'm like, I don't know. It just was not a popular thing. I mean, I don't mean to tell my age, but it's been quite some years. So celiac and gluten sensitivity was not really a thing. So it was like, it was never tested. It was never even considered. But I remember times like getting dizzy and nauseous when I was younger. I remember going to the bathroom and realizing that it was coming out of both ends. Like literally I would be on the toilet, not to be too graphic, and I would have a bucket in front of me while I'm on the toilet. But it was pretty much like, oh, she's probably just got, you know, stomach virus, or she probably just ate something that didn't agree with her stomach or whatever. But the idea of being an allergic reaction never came into play, if that makes sense. So she's like, oh yeah, well, the thing with gluten allergy too is it changes over time. So you can have mild reaction and it could get worse, or you could, but you do need to change your diet to stop eating gluten. So let's fast forward, because at this point she told me this, but I'm kind of like hearing her, but not hearing her, because I'm like, you the same doctor that almost killed me. So it's like, I hear you, but I'm not hearing you, or whatever, if that makes sense. So for a while, I did not change my diet. I still was, you know, eating gluten, eat what I want to eat, because it was like, you tried to kill me, lady. I'm not listening to you. Okay, let's fast forward. A couple years go by, and it's like, you know, I end up before I realized or whatever. I mean, before I stopped eating gluten, I ended up getting a date person. If anybody know, the date person is a person inside your ear, your earlobe, and it's supposed to aid in migraines. Because I started looking at myself like, what can I do to not, you know, have migraines or whatever. Because at this point I'm like, it can't be gluten, it gotta be migraines. So I end up going and getting the date person. When I went and got the date person, the guy was like, oh yeah, a lot of people get it for the reason of migraines or whatever. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna just get the date person, keep eating my gluten, and manage as much as I can. So the date person, I'm not even gonna lie, it felt like it was working. Like it actually helped more than all the medication she was giving me. So I was managing it for some time with just having the person. That person hurt like crazy to get it, I'm not even gonna lie. And it actually triggered migraines when I needed to clean it, or when it's like I tried to turn it and like to clean it or something like that. Like when I first got it, it would trigger migraines. I done had it in my ear now for probably a couple of years, so it doesn't do anything. It doesn't hurt, doesn't bother me. I don't even realize it's there. Like I can play with everything because it's been in my ear for a couple of years. But the first 6 to 8 months, anytime I touched it, it gave me a headache. So I'm just like, okay, this is bad, but it wasn't doing as much as, you know, it wasn't doing as much as damage as I felt like I was already going through. So I was like, okay, let's just try it. Okay, so I end up doing that, getting a date person or whatever, and I end up still taking like over-the-counter medication. A couple of years go by, and I am basically, you know, still eating gluten, because I'm like, this doctor a lie. She don't know what she's talking about, because you tried to kill me. In my head, you still the person that tried to kill me. So I was like, you a lie. Oh my gosh, I should have cured all this at the same time. But you know what, let me take this off. So I'm like, in my head, you still a doctor trying to kill me. You a lie. I don't want to hear it. You're like, I'm not losing nothing, lady. You trying to get some money, and I'm not about to be a guinea pig while you still, oh, let's try this medicine. Oh, let's try this medicine. No. Medicine trying is over. You're not about to kill me. So I end up like ignoring her advice of I need to stop eating gluten, because she said your allergies is going to get worse over time. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse, and everything, your body's going to change the more you eat gluten, whatever. But I'm, you know, she's still the doctor that's trying to kill me, so whatever. You don't know nothing. I'm not listening. Okay. So she like a couple of years go by. Then all of a sudden I wake up and I'm like in complete hives. Like I would still have headaches, I would still have stomach pains, I still was having like minor things that was bothering me or whatever. But I'm still like, no, that can't be it. It can't be gluten. So I was being hard-headed at this point because it's like you gave me so many different medications to try. Oh, let's try this, let's try this, let's do this. I felt like you didn't have an opinion no more. Like I don't trust you no more. I'm gonna have to figure it out on my own. So some years did end up going by. I'm not listening to her because she don't know what she's talking about. And yeah, I wake up and I'm in complete hives. Like hives. Like my face, my neck, my chest, my hands, like, and I'm like, what in the world? And now I'm remembering the conversation me and her had. She said over time that gluten allergy is going to change. Like it's not bothering you as much right now. It's only giving you headaches, but you are going to start having more severe reactions. Okay, so maybe this doctor do know something because I am like in complete hives, red little bumps, and it's like they itchy. If I scratch them, it's like they turn into like little sores and scabs, and I'm like, what in the world is this? This cannot be like life. Like this cannot be life. So now I am aware, like, yeah, I'm allergic to gluten. So I pretty much live a gluten-free life. I have removed all the gluten out of my diet, not out of my house, because it's not fair to the kids to have to, consume what I'm consuming because I can't have it. So I still will allow them to eat what they want to eat, but I just cook our meals separately. So they'll have their gluten food. And it looks very delicious sometimes. And it's definitely triggering being like having to cook all their food, and then it's just like, oh well, you can't have bread though, you can't have this. And it's like I can consume some gluten-free food, but some gluten-free stuff is just like, oh my gosh, this is the nastiest thing I ever tasted in my life. Like this is disgusting. Like, but now I don't have a choice because I waited so long to actually listen to the doctor's advice. Like I can't even have I gotta cut it out little by little. It's like, no, you just can't have it. Like, don't eat it. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's crazy to me that I could be eating something my whole entire life and then bam, you're allergic to it. And it's just like, but ow, I had it yesterday and I had no problems. Like, how does that work? Like, help me understand, how does it work? How am I allergic to something that I've been eating my whole life? But yeah, lo and behold, I am allergic to gluten. And anything gluten makes me itch, break out. And now it ain't even just the headaches. I really break out in like little hives. It makes me itch. It gives me headaches. It makes me go straight to the bathroom. Like, yeah, my reactions have definitely changed a lot. But if the doctor didn't try to kill me early on, I would have believed her when she said, oh yeah, it's just the gluten. But it's like, you gave me too many medications versus figuring out the problem. And I get it, like, you gotta run tests. But it's like, if we had just looked at the blood work at first versus sending me home with, oh, try this, or whatever. If we had looked at the blood work at the beginning, I would not have even had all those different medications. So it's like, I was irritated because it's like you went through so much when all we had to do was actually just look at the blood work and figure it out from the beginning. So yeah, that's how I found out I'm allergic to gluten. After, I didn't find out until I was like, probably, I want to say I was like maybe 30 something. So it was like for 30 some years of my life, I've been eating gluten. Getting mildly sick. Cause I remember as a child being mildly sick. But like, never really feeding into it because it's like, I don't know. It's like when my mom would ask, I had a very involved mother. But when she would, oh, well, she keeps complaining her stomach hurt. Well, she's saying this is wrong. Well, she's saying this is wrong. The doctor like, oh, she probably should have ate something that didn't agree with her stomach. It's probably nothing to worry about. So it's like, okay, well, gluten was not a big topic when I was younger. So yeah, that's how I found out I am allergic to gluten. And eating gluten can make me sick, like in the bathroom sick. Like, I'm gonna be here for a while. Don't nobody knock, don't nobody come in. And it's like, it is so frustrating because gluten seemed like, to me, it seemed like gluten's in everything. Like, even times when I'm like, I'm trying to, like, you know, not eat gluten food, like, I felt like I was making, that's too big. I was making myself sick for a while because it was like I was trying to take it out without even realizing, like, okay, I have to even watch not just the food I eat, but I have to watch medication I take, because all medication is not gluten free. Okay. And then some things that say it's gluten free is not gluten free, because if it's cooked in the same factory, it could be have cross contamination and you can still get sick. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, this is too much. Like, this is too much. Like, it's a lot when you've been eating gluten your whole life, and then it's just like, oh, you're allergic now, so now you can't eat this. You're just like, really though? Like, what did I ever do? Like, God, gluten, that's what you want to take from me? But that is how I found out that I am allergic to gluten. Oh, that's cute so far. Let's keep going. That is how I found out that I am allergic to gluten, and yeah, I had to change my whole diet, and I had to cook my food separate from my kids, and watch everything I eat and digest. Like, even the other day, I'm sitting there eating some chips, and it's like the chips say that they are gluten free. So I'm like, okay, cool, I can eat this. It's gluten free. I start eating, and then I'm like, okay, my stomach feels weird. Like I feel nauseated, and I'm just like, okay, so now I need to know that everything that just say it ain't is gluten free is not gluten free. So I end up actually joining a Facebook group for celiac disease, because they like give a lot of little tips on things to buy, things you can eat, you know, things that is gluten free that actually do have good flavor. I bought some noodles the other day that was gluten free, and I'm surprised that I was actually able to digest them. I never can digest gluten free food, because it's just like I just stick to my meats, vegetables, and fruits, because that's naturally gluten free. But like, to try to eat like bread that say is gluten free, or some rolls, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, what did I ever do in life so wrong? That's why I be thinking, like, I just want some bread, like, I just want a hot dog. Like, I think this would be so much easier if I knew as a child and I was already used to eating non-gluten food. Probably harder for my mom, because she had 4 kids, and she would have to literally make me a separate meal from everybody else. But it would have been so much easier if I was already used to it. But being that I wasn't used to it, and it's like 30 years of my life I've been eating gluten, and now it's just like, no, that ain't for you no more. It's just like, really? Okay, I'm being bullied at this point. But now I stick to it, because I don't like being sick. I don't like just be eating, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, something not right, like, immediately. He's like, and I think my allergies now, I feel it more because I haven't been eating gluten, so I've been trying to take it out of my diet. So if I do eat something that has gluten in it, it's like my stomach react even worse, because I actually have took it out of my diet. But if I probably had kept eating it, it probably would have still ultimately made me sick, but my stomach wouldn't react because it was used to it. But now that I have taken on my diet, if I do eat something that's gluten, it's like my body reacts even worse, because it's like you're putting it back at me after you know I'm not supposed to have it, and why you doing that? But that is how I found out I am allergic to gluten. So let's finish. I'm sitting here talking. Let's finish this set. And this set will be on sale on Etsy. I sell all my press-ons on Etsy. Pretty much all the videos that's posted is sold on Etsy at Simply Nails ASMR. And I'll try not to sell them too high. I know that some people sell up to $100, but you know, some things is like, this is going to be gel, but these are thick nails, so it's like they definitely don't break. I wear these to work, and working with kids. Even I wore these even when I'm still working at Amazon, and my nails do not break. This is acrylic on my hand. But yeah, so that's why I get some people selling theirs a little bit higher, because you know, you add acrylics to some. But these right here, since it's just gel polish and rhinestones, will probably be on sale for like $45. But yeah, let's finish up this set.
My favorite drug, too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain holds you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. Life goes up and it goes down. I know my mom taught me that. I figured why we fool around so little, and we keep track of time, being so serious. Idiots thinking it will matter, keep me company downtown before the clock runs out. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. I'm afraid I'll end up nowhere. They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the details that actually mean something. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. No, not yet, whoa. But I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up.